All right, so Emma Stone won Best Actress. I didn't see Poor Things. I didn't see Killers of the Flower Moon. I know that's one probably should have won. What do you guys think?
Okay. Me immediately? Okay.
The biggest reaction.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess I'll play a clip of my reaction to it. It's she is a phenomenal actress,
Yeah.
but it's not so much her performance in Poor Things, it's just what Poor Things is. I'm not a super big fan of. It's not a terrible movie, but I think its message is flawed in a lot of ways, and I think it's kind of I'm not disrespecting art house style films. I'm just not a fan of where the character, who she was as a character, and what she portrayed. I think it's kind of demeaning in a lot of ways. But her performance is good in it, but not as good as, per se, Lily Gladstone was. And I think she carried the crap out of what I think was a not terrible Killers of the Flower Moon, but like when you can outperform the likes of freaking that one guy who can't date anybody over or whatever. I forgot his name. Leo. There you go.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just blanked. You outperform
De Niro
DiCaprio,
as well.
De Niro. I mean, and there's some other actors in there as well who pop up as well, who are very well known. When you miss that, when you miss that in an Oscar ballot and you pick Emma Stone over that, who again did a great job, but honestly only had to compete honestly with not even together with a lot of actors other than Mark Ruffalo and a couple of Willem Dafoe scenes. Really, ultimately, she was kind of a solo character in a lot of like seating scenes in terms of competing. That's where I thought, like, listen, I don't know. What
Is that maybe why they give it to her though? Because she was really like the character, the actress in that movie. She wasn't alongside. Okay, yes, she was alongside Ruffalo and Dafoe, but she is the main character, the most prominent actress who has the most screen time. And
I don't know about that, honestly.
Yeah.
Just because like Lily Gladstone was still the primary actress from Killers of the Flower Moon. It's basically just like saying like actually.
That's the thing.
You have a good point because Davine Joy Randolph will be basically the primary actress from The Holdovers, but she's best supporting actress.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll put this to rest. The story revolves heavily around Lily Gladstone's character. Like, without her, there's really no story. Actually, there is no story. That's why she gets the lead. Like, because she could have been supporting technically if the story didn't revolve around her. Like you're saying, Davine Joy Randolph. Her character isn't the main focus. That's why she's supporting actress. Same thing as Emily Blunt. She's not the main focus. But
right,
I'm telling you this.
Makes sense.
Like I said, you guys haven't seen Killers of the Flower Moon. It's a long movie, but near the final act, towards the last act, she is unbelievable and should have won. Like for that part of the movie alone, and that's like an hour because third act's like a full,
I mean, it's like, is it 3.5 hours?
3.5 hours, yeah. It was interesting. I just got back from class on I just sat down and watched it. I said, I have to watch it at some point, so now's the time to watch it.
Yeah.
I feel like, somebody like Emma Stone, who basically has a lot of opportunities to basically make movies nowadays, especially now that she's become a lot bigger since La La Land. I feel like she's going to have maybe another opportunity to basically get another Oscar later down the line. But somebody like Lily Gladstone, who this is like her first primary big role, I don't know if she'll have more opportunities later on down the line. Mm-hmm. It's just something that, the Oscars could have maybe thought of that a little bit, the Academy. Lily Gladstone's performance was overall amazing, and this could be her once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to get this, incredible achievement for her performance.
It's similar to Davine Joy Randolph, like you just said. It's probably, I don't want to say her only opportunity, but it's her first big opportunity, and she's up against Emily Blunt, who will have many roles to come in big movies. But they gave it to her, to Davine. So could they have done the same thing for Lily Gladstone? I think so. But
I mean, listen, if you're doing that for every actor, it sort of diminishes the point of the award, right? It takes away. It's like a participation award for a lot of people then. And like, I don't know. I like I said, a lot of what I have against her winning has to do more with just what the movie represents. I didn't love the movie. It was probably one of the weaker in the Oscar nominations, I would say. But overall, it was Lily Gladstone or Emma Stone. Like that's like the only options in my opinion. I wasn't a huge fan of the rest of the list, so that's just where I land on that.
That's fair. That's fair. I have to show some love to Sandra Huller because it's basically the only movie I have seen in the actress leading role. I've seen Maestro, but forget Maestro. Sandra Huller was great in Anatomy of a Fall.
Yeah.
In a weaker
She probably
year,
wins, yeah.
I think she could have been like a front runner, but I mean, not against Emma Stone. That's I don't think.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. But I want to go back to I was recording multiple reactions for the Oscars, and I didn't start recording, unfortunately, when they did the first award, which surprised me. They did supporting actress immediately into the show, so I had no opportunity to record it. I was like, kind of caught me off guard. I was so happy that Davine won because she was so good in the movie, in The Holdovers, and honestly carried multiple scenes. But I was just really glad that she won because I was really glad that The Holdovers got a win because they were against some really high.
Its only Oscar for The
It's
Holdovers?
its only Oscar,
Okay.
and it's a big one, honestly,
No, yeah,
because it was
yeah.
that or original screenplay,
Right.
and it was a tough one in original screenplay. I actually. It was that or what won was American Fiction, and I ended up watching it after the Oscars, and it's a good. Wait, is that adapted, right?
Yeah.
I'm thinking the wrong thing.
It was
The
Anatomy of a
original
Fall.
is Anatomy of a Fall. That one.
Anatomy of Fall. That's the one I was concerned it was up against, right? And that's what won, right?
Yeah.
So, it was that or The Holdovers. Yeah. So I'll come back to the adapted screenplay, but. I'm just really glad The Holdovers won something. It's one of my favorite movies of the year, and I've watched it multiple times. I actually just watched it again after the Oscars, so I just had to watch her performance again and really just enjoy what it was.
Definitely deserving of at least one Oscar for the movie as a whole. Is definitely deserving of at least one. It's unfortunate that it was just one, but
For her to basically stand up and act right next to Paul Giamatti and basically kind of almost steal the limelight while she's acting alongside Paul Giamatti is a pretty big thing to do, especially on his performance with this kind of movie. So I think she definitely deserved that win. Emily Blunt I was rooting for, but you could see our reactions. I thought Emily Blunt would win, but I also thought that Davine Joy Randolph would also have a very high chance of winning, because both were incredible. So yeah.
Yeah, 100%. This year's Oscars was actually probably one of the more balanced Oscars in terms of there wasn't too many surprises. That could be a bad thing because we all kind of knew what was gonna more likely win than not, going into it. There's very few surprises. The Boy and the Heron won. Spider-Man didn't get its win, which is, I didn't watch it. I know you watched, Alvaro.
Yeah, it's more just what Hayao Miyazaki can do for basically the animated film
the industry.
aspect, the whole industry. He basically just creates this whole thing where it's almost like Pixar-esque, but way back in the beginning when they first started, the first Incredibles and stuff like that, Up, and everybody was holy crap, this looks incredible, it looks beautiful, and it's portraying such an amazing story. So that's basically what he's bringing to the table, but it's hand drawing, right, instead of basically all digital design, and that's something that Disney basically brought along with Wish. And they didn't do very well, which for it's 100th year for animated film, I think, for Disney, and everybody would expect Wish, oh my god, it's gonna win, it's gonna be up there. It wasn't even nominated. So it makes sense. I understand the win. I wasn't the biggest fan of the story for The Boy and the Heron. I preferred Spider-Man, as you can see. but no, I understand the win due to the animation effects. I mean, it's all hand drawn. It's insane. It's really good.
In terms of story, what I can say is that why I would lean more towards The Boy and the Heron instead of Spider-Man is that as a standalone, as an animated feature film, if you just watch Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse without knowing Into the Spider-Verse, you're kind of lost, you're kind of confused, it doesn't fully make sense compared to The Boy and the Heron, which is just standalone and honestly just as impressive visually, because like you said, it's all hand-drawn and all the flames engulfing everything. It's super well done. So I personally think The Boy and the Heron was deserving, even though I prefer the movie Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, but as an animated feature film, Boy in the Heron was the right choice in my opinion.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you guys nailed it, honestly. The only thing Spider-Man could have, like, possibly won, well, the reason for their possible win would have been just, like, the sheer amount of, like, work that went into that. I mean, still, hand drawing beats it by any day, like, that, no matter what. But digital work still takes its effort,
Oh, for sure.
and they talk about it quite a bit. It was a big driving force for the film, everybody talking about it. They're like, yeah, it's another one, but look at all the style that they went through. So I thought it might have got it. I'm just glad they actually got a nomination. It's very easy for these movies to not even get a chance at all. I don't know if the first one got a nomination.
It won.
It won, okay,
It won.
yeah.
Because as a standalone, if you just watch the first one, fully understand, right? And you don't need a sequel technically. Obviously, the sequel helps keep the story going, but you didn't need a sequel to fully understand that movie as a whole, compared to this one where you need the first one to then carry over.
Yeah.
That's how I understand like their decision, I guess.
Fair.
Yeah.
That's how I reasoned with it.
For sure, absolutely. I mean, other categories were still pretty good. Cinematography was a bit of I was a little concerned. I wasn't too sure where it was gonna go. I'll be honest. I mean, Oppenheimer ended up winning, thankfully.
Yeah.
But I mean, Poor Things, I felt like kind of gave it a push because visually, Poor Things is actually pretty like damn well done. You know, I don't know, but
It is really well done, especially when she's walking around through different cities, like after the cruise or whatever. I know you haven't seen it, but basically like she goes on a cruise and then she goes to different cities, and when she's walking around that city, it's really well placed shots and everything. It was a bit of a battle, but I'm glad our boy Oppie won.
I'm just looking through this now, and I just realized we just finished recording our episode on the Zone of Interest, and it wasn't nominated at the Oscars for Best Cinematography, which I'm actually kind of surprised because it was at the BAFTAs. That was nominated there, but I think it deserved a nomination. I'm just looking at it now, and I don't even know what El Conde is, but I believe the Zone of Interest should have been up there. That's all I'm saying, because the way they shot that movie is super impressive.
no, yeah, it could have made it. There's a couple of different nominations that kind of got pushed away that didn't get anything. I mean, like I said, this Oscars was so like, yay, we all know who's gonna win. There was a few shocks, right? But
Godzilla -1, baby.
read my mind, just about to
Yep,
say it.
yep.
Yep.
Yeah, there was what, Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning. There was Guardians of the Galaxy. There was also
The Creator.
yes, The Creator, which is
Napoleon.
really well, and Napoleon. That was incredible. Like I think it was. I mean, okay. God, if you see Godzilla -1, you'd be like, yes, it deserves to win like crazy. But every other like special effects team on each one of those movies did an incredible job, going above and beyond. But I'm so glad my boy Godzilla -1.
You've been talking about it for so long as
I
well.
have been. yeah. No, I'm just glad it won.
Yeah, no, it deserves to win because honestly, the rest of the only one I thought might have somehow beat it was Napoleon because like there's a lot of work behind that. But yeah, the rest of them, not so much. I mean, to me, like Guardians of the Galaxy is just doing what they always do.
Yeah,
Something like
it's-
particularly impressive. Mission Impossible, same thing, really. Just doing what they always do.
Yeah.
De-aging Tom Cruise to the max, So that could have been makeup and hairstyling. Come on, like.
Ew.
Yeah, I makeup and hairstyling was an interesting one. I thought I was surprised Oppenheimer even got a nomination for that, to be honest, because I feel like there's other movies that could have beat Oppenheimer out. It was not the strongest. In fact, probably the weakest in this category. I don't know. I didn't watch Society of the Snow, so it's
I
hard.
haven't seen that yet either. Yeah.
Me neither.
Yeah, but in terms of the ones that I do know for sure, like Golda, Maestro, and Poor Things, compared to those, it's the last on the list of those for sure.
Yeah, I mean, the only scene from Oppenheimer that would have maybe ranked it a bit for the makeup and styling was the one where they're all old, further down when Oppie's receiving the medal. That's the only thing.
Yeah,
but
I mean, it's
Yeah.
super well done.
that's
Yeah.
probably why it got the nomination only. I
Yeah.
think.
I mean, not to say that makeup and hairstyling falls on just being able to do old,
Of course,
you know.
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
think just that sheer fact that they look so real,
so
and-
close to the real people, the real life people.
Exactly, and it took a long time for them to actually get them all set up and everything. I think that's why they got the nomination. I think when they were doing the nominations, that was the scene that popped up too.
Yeah, it was. The Oscars knows what's like, that's maybe not what they look at, but I mean, a lot could be said, right? Because like they do all that work. They go through multiple years of, of his life, right? His youth, then the middle, and then near the end. It's technically four, actually. It goes through like almost four different parts of his life.
True.
And it's not enough to, I'll say what I was going to leave this, but I'll say it once. There's also another movie from not long ago that also went through multiple years of a certain figure's life, Elvis, and didn't win. So just nutty still.
That was the whale, eh, that beat it?
The whale beat it. Like,
It's weird.
No, see, no, it doesn't, no. Like,
I just love pouring more salt.
I know.
It's so much fun.
if anything else won, I might have been okay with it, but like the whale doesn't deserve to win it. No offense. Like it's okay, it's this year's Oscars.
Yep, 2024.
When we do an episode on Elvis or on maybe just musicals in general, I'll bring up all that again, but we'll leave it for now. Actor in a supporting role. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
That was a given, right?
Yeah.
It was a pretty good one. I mean, Mark Ruffalo in Poor Things is pretty good, but again, he's not outperforming anybody by any means, and Emma Stone still better than him in that for sure.
I actually thought Mark Ruffalo was very weak in Poor Things, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
He was like, it's like I've seen pretty much not all of his roles, but like I think in all the roles that I have seen him in, this is my least favorite of his performances, I gotta say. Yeah, it's like I didn't, when I saw Best Supporting Actor and I saw his nomination, I was like, okay, I don't think he's gonna win that. It was very bland. I just saw him up there. I'm like, okay, cool. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He has a couple of scenes that are pretty strong, but overall, not really. Ryan Gosling in that as well.
I
mean,
don't really get that, but
you just got to give him an option. You got to put him in there because honestly, I'm not really sure of any other movies that I watched that really would have given anybody else a supporting actor role. Like most people who should have been nominated were nominated in this.
Yeah, pretty much.
I can now say for Sterling K. Brown for American Fiction, good, but I mean you're competing against Robert Downey Jr., who's masterclass performance. I mean, come on, like stealing scenes left and right. I mean, every person in Oppenheimer probably did steal a scene or two. But it's not the defining factor, as we know from supporting actress, right? It's not the only thing. Robert De Niro, honestly, to me, was probably one of the ones that I thought maybe he might sneak through and get it. Honestly, he was good in Killers of the Flower Moon, but not good enough, I guess. He's probably second on that list, maybe third, because Sterling K. Brown is pretty good in American Fiction. So it's like a tie for two, and then just Junior leading it. I'm really glad he won it though. Because I think we even said it in our Oppenheimer episode, or maybe even in another episode talking about Robert Downey Jr., but we were just like, or at least I said, this is his return to, like, not to say Marvel is not acting, but let's be honest here. I've said it before. I said it in, I believe, our Tron episode, where I said Marvel just diminishes like all acting credibility. There are so many phenomenal actors who have entered into the Marvel sphere. Benedict Cumberbatch, Robert Downey Jr.,
countless.
Countless. Scarlett Johansson. I mean, so like, just like you just diminish them so much because the stories are just really bad. At least most of them are pretty bad. There are a few standouts. But now that he wins this, he can return to, I think, like, I'm really excited to see what he goes on to do here because he's so good.
I just hope he doesn't do another Doolittle as, like, his next project. Because that would be so tragic. Because, like, you followed, like, I think Endgame with Doolittle, like, before Oppenheimer, probably his best performance in Endgame, then Doolittle. And now he's back up at Oppenheimer. It's like, I just hope he doesn't crash back into the ground because that would be so sad. He's finally back. And hopefully he stays up here.
He probably will. I'll take another Tropic Thunder, though.
I mean, of course.
Would you take a Sherlock, though?
I'll take a Sherlock.
Yeah, that's closer to more like dramatic-ish. It's more serious.
And it's a fun movie that, like, who doesn't want a Sherlock story, right? Like, I'm definitely taking another Sherlock.
Is there another Sherlock in the works? Hold on, I'm just looking this up right now.
Oh.
There is one on Google on IMDb that doesn't have a release date.
Interesting.
Yeah, it says Sherlock Holmes 3.
Wow.
Plot unknown.
No actors attached to it, like.
Well, everybody who was, at least 4 of the main ones from the others are in it. So I think it's actually in the works. So there you go.
Fun.
We're gonna get another Sherlock, I believe.
That'd be really cool. It's about time.
Oh, apparently it was supposed to take place in 2016, but didn't because he was committed to Marvel.
There you go.
So they've delayed
makes
it.
a
So
lot of
maybe
sense.
now,
Sick.
well, that worked out for them. 'Cause I'll go see that. Anyways, yeah, I mean, other categories. Let's talk about music. I mean, we could talk about score. I mean,
Yeah.
it's that's a category. Yeah, I mean,
We knew it was gonna win.
Not
Yeah.
very surprising.
Yeah, we were rooting for that one from the get go. As soon as we heard it,
Yeah. I mean,
we knew it just had to win. Especially just what is it, like 7 days of 8 hours straight just trying to perfect the same song. Yeah. I mean, same score, excuse me. But
yeah, but yeah, no, 100%. Like I've again, Poor Things soundtrack didn't really pop out to me. I believe you mentioned that in the prediction video before I even watched it. And yeah, it's not something special. Killers of the Flower Moon has a good soundtrack, but nothing popping either. Indiana Jones is still great.
it's John Williams.
Yeah,
He's,
I mean, it
he
would've
was
been-
always gonna get nominated no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Amazing. But again, it's just Oppenheimer in that category is the only one that really just crushed it. And it, again, we talked about in our Zone of Interest episode about sound and narrative. And for Oppenheimer, like they nailed it.
the score is a massive part of the story.
Yeah, I mean the titles of each piece are literally named after characters, so you know what you're doing, 100%.
Definitely. And they're also winning best film editing. With that also, if you're editing off of something that you recorded off of 70mm IMAX, you kind of need the win.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
kind of need that win. I don't think anybody else should have really won that. If it wasn't Oppenheimer, I would have been a little annoyed. Same thing as like original score. It's like those two were the biggest ones that it's like, okay, Oppenheimer kind of has to take those two. If it doesn't, I'll be a little annoyed. I'll be pretty annoyed.
Yeah,
But yeah.
yeah. You think they'll bring it back to 70 mil again?
Oh my God, yes, I hope so.
That would be 3 times, I think.
Yeah.
I mean,
They
I
should.
heard that it was coming back for at least a week in theaters. Wow. Is it going to be in 70? I don't know. We'll see.
Ooh, 70 mil? Are we?
Another
Are
road
we?
trip
Are we?
upcoming? I don't know.
We got content? I don't know. Are
Oh,
we?
man.
Ooh. I mean, I'll go.
I heard they're making like 824, bringing it to IMAX and stuff. Have you guys heard about that? Yeah, Ex Machina is going to IMAX now, coming to theaters.
Oh.
There's gonna be quite a few. There's like 3 movies I forgot. I know one
That
of them
would
is
be
Ex
stunning.
Machina. Yeah, there's
No,
other
I'd
coming to
want to see
theaters.
that. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's all right. What other categories were surprising? I mean, most of them, like I said, not surprising. But production design. I mean, I actually don't even know who won. I completely forgot.
Things.
Poor Things.
Poor
Oh
Things.
yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I thought Barbie might have actually got that as a bit of surprise. Same thing with costumes. We can do those together. Poor Things won that as well. I thought Barbie might have even gotten it. Again, didn't get it. At least it won something, but I don't know.
It won something, yeah, but let's be real. Billie Eilish won.
True.
Yes, the song
Yeah.
is a pivotal part of the movie.
Yes.
But like, it's Billie Eilish who won.
That's true.
She's
That's
not
true.
like the youngest like double like Oscar.
Yeah,
Crazy.
the youngest
award.
2-time Oscar winner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Insane.
What's that, like a year apart or 2 years apart? I can't remember.
Her
When
last
was
one was
from-
James Bond.
Yeah, no,
James
that was
Bond, so-
2019, I think. No Time to Die. Oh
no,
no, it came out
it's 2021. So
Yeah.
it's been 2
2
years.
to 3 years, yeah.
Mhm.
That's still good. Back to back, I believe. I don't think she got nominated for something between it.
Back-to-back, like, nomination and wins.
Yeah, I think it
so,
is. I
yeah.
remember them saying that when she was walking
Yeah,
up.
because I don't think she made a song last year for any movie.
Yeah, no, but I'm okay with her winning. It was one of the more genuine speeches as well when she was up there. So like, it was nice. It was good, and she got to perform it as well.
Yeah, I
And-
like the I'm just Ken performance.
Yeah,
That was
and
pretty
we have
fun.
to bring it up. I'm just Ken, right? Like,
I haven't seen any of the performances or speeches yet.
Okay.
I'm waiting, and I'm gonna like rapid fire everything.
It's
but
good.
I heard like one of the best performances in Oscar history. That's what people are deeming it online. So
Really?
yeah, it's just fun, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
like this
it's-
Oscars just felt like there's no real controversy. Just everybody just enjoyed it. It felt kind of a little bit less like, you know, we're all rich and we're patting each other on the back. Although people still feel that way, and I understand that. But it's the industry, and you know, and it was nice that they talked about the strikes that happened this year, and they brought
good.
out the production team that was they brought them out early on in the show, and praised them. They did a section. I want to talk to you guys about this, and they did a section on stunt people in the industry, and they were like, "Hey, we thank you all. You do so much. You know, you're like a pivotal part of the entire process. And I just like, I was talking to Alvaro during, and I was just like, why don't they give him a damn Oscar? Like what is
come on.
this?
When is it gonna happen? They're more than deserving.
They're giving an Oscar for, oh, you look good to be in a movie. You're in my movie now. Like casting, you're getting an Oscar for, but you're not giving it to the stunt people.
Come on.
It has to be the next Oscar coming up. It has to. Like the next like award they're gonna like announce. It has to be. If it's not stunts, I'm gonna be pissed because like I don't know anything else that should be getting an award.
Especially when we have movies like John Wick.
Exactly.
Like,
you have something like John Wick.
Reward them.
Mission Impossible, Tom Cruise. You know,
Come on.
Yeah, they should call it the Tom Cruise Award.
The Tom Cruise Award.
Could you imagine?
In like 20 years' time, I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, yeah, wouldn't that be? I mean, some of these actors should get like awards named after them. I mean, honestly, they're incredible. Tom Cruise, though, like that'd be hilarious if it named after them. And he's just like the only guy voting in the process too.
He decides who wins.
I don't know what he would say up there though. I'm kind of scared to see him up there do a speech.
Could you imagine?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, let's just before we go way too far with that.
Yeah.
And something I wanted to bring up because so I didn't watch the Oscars. I was away. For Best Picture winner, did they not read the nominees?
Okay.
Like, did Al Pacino just like?
It's so funny.
I don't know. I just saw a small
Okay.
clip online and it's like, all right, Best Picture. Oh, so now I opened the envelope. It's like, no, you don't.
I honestly, I think he had like maybe a senior moment or something, but yeah, it was just straight up like he was. You know what it is though? I think he's just tired. Like everyone, first of all, everyone was tired after the awards, although it felt pretty quick, honestly. And I'm really happy it started early for once. It's just people were just tired at the end of the night, and I think he was just like, "Why am I doing this again?" And so he's just like, "Yeah, Oppenheimer, like, yeah, Oppenheimer."
I mean, the man's 83 years old, you know, so like, you can't.
Yeah, he just walked up there, took a look at it, said, "All right, today, you know,
But,
I'm
like,
doing
they-
Best
Now I opened
Picture."
the envelope, it says Oppenheimer. It says
Yeah,
Oppenheimer,
but to be fair, like there also didn't feel like there was any cue for anything to happen, right? Because like usually they'll be prepared for certain things to happen,
Right.
And there just wasn't any, like there was no music cue, there was nothing. Even when he was going towards the I'll just open the envelope, there was nothing to indicate that there was going to be more to it, which was interesting.
I mean, like usually you get like a little, you know, here are the nominations like for everything
Like
else.
the voiceover that talks.
Yeah,
That's
and then they play on
true.
top, you know, on the,
Yeah.
the
True,
little camera.
but you got to remember there are a lot of nominations in this.
It's
That's
10.
true.
That's a lot of that's
Best
a
Picture's
chunk.
always
And
10.
think because like as much as the Oscar takes up 3 hours of a window for television, there's still other shows on a program that need to start.
Yeah.
So and it's live. So there could have been a time constraint because we were already almost 10:30.
I mean, they almost always like surpass a tiny bit. It always ends like 5-10 minutes a bit later.
So I'm wondering if we were already past a little bit.
That's very
Yeah.
possible.
He just came out and was like, "All right, here's the winner. Go bye."
Because I don't know. Because when I was watching, there was a couple opportunities where like they like quickly cut back to the Oscars, and then they were like, no, back to commercial, and then it went back to the Oscars again. So there was a couple of scenarios. So I was wondering if maybe they just were running. They're just like, go out there, say it, like.
It's possible. It's
Because
very possible.
It was very underwhelming for sure.
Yeah.
Like I have the recording of that as well. My reaction was literally, what just happened?
What? And I mean, I guess not much of a surprise either.
No.
Like, everyone in the room knew Oppenheimer was going to win. Let's be real here. So, like, maybe they were just like, yeah, it's the last award. We're close to the time. Like, just read it. It was just strange. I just saw the clip after and I was like, what? Like, what just happened? Like,
Yeah.
bit of confusion there.
It was fun though. It was fun.
It
Like,
was
a
fun.
good one. I love. I just want to mention John Mulaney's little speech there. If you haven't watched the clip yet, it is probably the funniest. Like 2 minutes. He just goes off about like Field of Dreams for who knows what reason.
Yeah.
It's just like the most genuine, like not genuine, but just like well, like not prepared at all speech to present. What did he present? I forgot what he was doing it for.
I actually forgot as well.
Yeah.
I think it might have been. Was it best song? No, it wasn't best song.
No. It was something else. I can't remember right now, but it might have been editing him, honestly. But anyways, yeah, it's just a really good one, and everyone wants him to host the Oscars now because he's actually really funny and like. He does a great dig at Madam Web, so it's just like it's so
Yeah.
fun. Yeah, and boy, I can't show it on the channel unfortunately, but go watch it. It's like a minute or whatever. Really great stuff. we'll finish it off here by talking about Christopher Nolan winning his Oscar finally. I mean,
time.
come
Oh
on.
my God,
Yeah.
yes. You have stuff like you got Dunkirk, you got Tenet, you got Interstellar, you got Inception. You can
Knight,
go
like-
on. Yeah, Dark Knight. You can go on. Huge list.
How is this his first? It should be like his fourth at least. Like,
Yeah. I mean, it's always been a competitive time, I think.
course.
This year was still relatively competitive. I think this is one of the better years for the Oscars. I think there was a lot of really great movies out there that had good arguments to be in the nominations. It wasn't just like, let's randomly put one here today. But yeah, it's time, right? I mean, and it isn't even like we were saying for some other actresses and actors who like, oh, you know, like their body of work is really good and they deserve one. Genuinely, like Oppenheimer stood above every other film this year. Like it wasn't even close. There were some good movies, like I said, like we talked about Zone of Interest. That's a very, very good movie.
It was a great year.
But like it's just that much better to talk about someone's life like that in a 3-hour span on 70mm, driving thousands of kilometers to go watch it,
Yes.
seeing the real. Anyways, of course we have a complete bias to Oppenheimer. I mean,
Of course.
Yeah.
Of
I mean, if we don't, then I don't know. I don't know.
this channel doesn't exist
It doesn't
without
exist.
Oppenheimer, right?
That's true.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And before we head out, I know we said Oppenheimer with the best director, but also best actor, Cillian Murphy.
Yeah.
Of course.
Cillian
Cillian,
Murphy.
yeah.
Oh my God! Like everybody was rooting for Bradley Cooper, trying to get it for
The dedication. he
the
put,
dedication,
yeah.
exactly. Like learning 6 years to play it, but then you have somebody like Cillian Murphy just coming by and doing the performance of a lifetime.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
I think it's a hugely deserved win. I mean, we were very biased with it, but it's a hugely deserved win. People were saying American Fiction. I don't know if you have anything to say particularly to that, Alex, because you saw it.
For actor, he was good. He was good. I enjoyed his performance in it. Jeffrey Wright has always, I don't know if this is like his first major role. I know he's definitely usually like a secondary character in a lot of stuff. He did a great job. But he was equal to, I think, everybody else in the category. Like, I mean, Paul Giamatti was great as well. I loved him in that. But I don't think anybody surpassed Cillian. It's impossible for that role. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
There's nothing else to say. It is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see this year. We've already started off hot. We got Dune Part 2, right?
Imagine if Dune came out when it was supposed to. It'd be in this Oscar class.
I think it only would have been like
Like-
eligible for maybe like cinematography
it
and like
might have
sound.
beat out visual. You might have lost your.
Oh, that's true.
Godzilla.
Yeah, visual's gone. Visual's gone, and
Yeah.
then also
Sound would have won.
sound.
Yeah.
Maybe it would have been really harsh competition for a score. You
Hans Zimmer versus Ludwig.
Yeah, you got both of them.
Oh, that would have been tough. That would have been
And-
tough.
I'm assuming then you would get nominated for directing. So we'd have Nolan versus Villeneuve versus Scorsese.
Oh boy.
That's what I was looking forward to, and then it got delayed, and I was like,
I mean, he did the smart move on delaying that, honestly.
I mean, now
Yep.
he's probably going to be alone in the Oscar class
He's
so
gonna
far.
be the only one.
Isn't Frank Scopola releasing something
Yes,
this year?
he is. Yeah, I forgot what it's
Ooh,
called.
Metropolis?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, it's the movie he's been working on for the last, 50 years
He
or
might win,
whatever.
actually.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. But
Oh, yeah. And then you have Joker 2 against it, and the Batman
I-
got delayed, so that's
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm scared for Joker 2, though.
I don't think it's gonna really do as good. It might win score and it might win original song, which it probably will have, but I don't think it's gonna be as good as the first one. It's a complete 180. Like,
This one's a musical, apparently, right? So-
Yeah.
I mean, you got two phenomenal. I mean, Joaquin can sing, and I mean, Lady Gaga. I mean, like, come on. I mean, you picked the right people, but I just don't know. Anyways, we'll end it
interesting
there.
year.
We'll look forward to next year's one. We'll probably have a better. Maybe we'll do like a live reaction to it next year or something like that. I mean, we got a whole 340 something days to think about it or whatever.
We'll think of something. We'll find something to do.
We'll be around. We'll be there. So thanks everybody who watched today. I hope you enjoyed the Oscars. It was again one of the better ones this year, and hopefully you succeeded. I know some of you guys can bet on it. There's a couple websites you can bet for Oscar nominators. So hopefully you won.
If I were home for the Oscars,
I should have, huh?
I definitely would have bet. It would have
mean,
been so much fun.
But I also think like the odds were like not great because like we kind of knew.
Yeah,
know?
but if you put them together, your odds like get
True,
better
yeah,
and better.
yeah.
So
Like
like
a parlay.
you parlay like
Parlay.
Oppenheimer on everything basically. Like you'd get some return at one point.
Damn. Oh well.
Next year.
Next year.
Next year.
Next year. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one.